The dumpster fire failure of... Oh, Quibi. Is that what it was called? Oh, hold on. I vaguely remember that. Quibi. We didn't watch this, did we? I don't think so. We watched the HQ Trivia downfall. I vaguely remember this. This was that short video service that wanted to, like, almost compete with YouTube, but they just had a bunch of celebrities make garbage, and then it died 6 months later, right? We did watch this? I don't even remember it. Man, that must be the curse of Quibi. I remember watching HQ Trivia. This had an interesting story. I just don't remember this at all. We didn't. I really don't think we did.
With everything that's going on at the moment, the world can feel like an exhausting place.
He's the prime.
So for today's video, I'm just gonna chill the F out and see what's on my new favorite streaming
No Darman.
service. Quibi.
Quibi. Only on Quibi.
Quibi is quick bites.
Quibi is an app.
What is Quibi and why should anyone in this room or anywhere care?
Quibi is a brand new subscription-based streaming service that's mobile only. And I know that sounds but don't worry, because it's actually going to be really good. Because it's basically exactly the same as HBO.
And it's not dissimilar to what HBO did in the 1990s.
Our ambition is to do what HBO did in terms of narrative storytelling.
If you're wondering who the Quibi this is, it's Jeffrey Katzenberg, Hollywood corporate royalty and Emperor
I don't know who that is.
Turtle people. He was the producer behind some of Disney's greatest hits, my personal favorite animated film ever, and also
Thanks for the resub. Navixian, Goodbye, Poke Brawl, and the Prime. Asperger's.
Now Mr. Katzenberg is doing a Quibi alongside Meg Whitman, former CEO of eBay.
The owner of DreamWorks.
The company raised nearly $2 billion in initial funding before the app had even launched. Wow, with that kind of cash and clout, Quibi was inevitably going to be the best short-form subscription-based mobile-only streaming service of all time. But what makes Quibi different? Well, first of all, and most importantly, Quibi was going to have celebrity stars and Hollywood budgets.
I remember that.
Making all that cheapo, user-generated content on the internet look like the garbage that it really was. As good as it was inevitably going to be, Quibi still had a tough fight ahead of it. After all, it was entering a saturated marketplace.
You know, we would say to you that what we're setting out to do falls somewhere between improbable and impossible.
Turns out it was.
This happens to be our home address.
Quibi was also preparing to wow audiences with its technological innovations.
How could you hate the internet? It's like the greatest invention of the 21st century.
Yeah, it's also how my kids found out there are thousands of hamsters buried alive because they're not really dead, they're just hibernating.
That's right, on Quibi you could watch stuff long ways and the right way. Wow!
With our entire cast featured in one clever moment that works equally well in landscape or portrait.
While this seems like a stupid gimmick that solves a problem that didn't exist in the first place, it's actually really smart, because it targets Quibi's most likely enthusiastic audience, people who are too stupid to know how to turn their wrists sideways. But wait, there's more!
Beautiful full-screen images like you've never seen before.
Full screen? Oh, wowee! I thought Cyberpunk had been delayed. The future is here, people. Quibi
this is pretty impressive.
The whole goddamn
I can't believe it failed.
They had convinced all these big boys to invest in them. With the unlimited power granted to them by Hollywood and Silicon Valley's greatest investors, Quibi launched with an insanely expensive marketing campaign. They went bananas.
Yeah, I do remember these.
Even paid for a Super Bowl spot.
Are these still up? I remember them being like really goofy. Do these still exist, I wonder? Let's do their most viewed one, the most dangerous game. Because these popped off on views. Oh. Damn. Oh. Man, that took some balls. They closed this channel, which had easily, like, what? 150 million views from just, like, their top videos here? Like, good God. Oh, no, definitely more than that. They probably had close to, like, 200 mil. They just said, fuck it. We're too ashamed. They could have rode the AdSense on this for a minute. It was there? Where? 74. Well, this is a re-upload. I wanted to see the official. This has 74 million views. No, like, I see the content is still here. I wanted to see the channel. I mean, we can still watch it. I don't remember it being like, this one in particular being horrible or anything. I just remember a few of them being super goofy.
You gotta lose this guy. Who is it? Doesn't matter. He'll kill both of us. Promise me something. Yeah? Don't follow me.
Exit tier 1, Jeffy.
If I just had some cash, I'd get some treatment. Maybe see my son be more. Think you can help me somehow?
I do, but I can't do it alone. I make possible man's innate desire to be challenged in a highly intense sport, hunting.
You want them to hunt me? Like paintball? Like tag or something?
Exit tier 1, Mars in the Prime Record.
The sport in its purest form. A hunt to kill. It's a 24-hour game. Deposits increase every hour you survive for a grand total of
$24.5 million.
just you on your own. Trust no one, stay paranoid.
When does it start?
It just did.
Oh, Quibi. Did that ever come out? Can I watch Most Dangerous Game on a re-upload of Quibi somewhere? That didn't even look like terrible. That was definitely one of the better ones I saw for Quibi. It actually did come out? Wow. I read the short story a few years ago. Thanks to Tier 1 Bastard. I actually forgot that was actually based on something. I thought that was a Quibi original. Straight from the genius mind of... What was the dude's name? Jack Blorsky or something? I forgot. The DreamWorks guy.
Greg, where are you? I'll be there in a Quibi. What?
With most of these ads focused on teaching people what the hell a Quibi was anyway.
You're dangerously low on air.
Relax, Commander. Got at least a Quibi left.
Wynn's here. Hey, Sojourn. Bye-bye.
This is the shit I remember.
They're going to die. But with Quibi's mind-boggling array of celebrity-packed content, it's easy to understand why they'd want to. A Quibi then is about 5 to 10 minutes, which is perfect because I'm about to go take a Quibi now. One of Quibi's biggest shows is Most Dangerous Game.
Yay! We just watched that.
Hemsworth as a down-on-his-luck property developer called Dodge Tynes.
Dodge Tynes. Thanks for coming by.
Mr. Sellers, thanks for seeing me.
My pleasure. Call me Miles. I wish you could call me Dodge. What a cool name.
As well as suffering from cool guy name syndrome, he also has a non-specific brain issue that makes him break stuff. This is exactly what makes Quibi so goddamn essential. It's this kind of ham-fisted symbolism that only Hollywood can do right. Dodge's life is falling apart, you see. He's got a kid on the way.
I kinda wanna watch
bills
this.
to pay. He's in a tight spot, so the only logical thing for him to do is agree to be hunted for sport by everyone's favourite Nazi.
Every hour you survive,
Thanks
more
to the bits,
money
Mike.
is being wired into your bank account, and that
The ending
continues
of LA
until
Noire
the
was
game
kind of
ends.
underwhelming.
The rest of the show follows Dodge as he dodges various stereotypical stock psychopaths who've paid for the opportunity to hunt and kill this A-list celebrity's sibling. When
Liam
Quibi launched,
Hemsworth
they
isn't really
understood they
A-list.
needed to offer people
What has he been in?
something as an incentive to join. They began by offering Quibi for free for 3 months. After that, it would be just $5 per month.
Oh,
but
sibling.
at
I
least
didn't
you
hear him
wouldn't
say
have to see any
sibling.
more ads.
I didn't even
Wait,
hear
no,
the
you
sibling
had to pay
part.
extra for that. And despite this, they managed to get over 900,000 people to sign up in the first 3 days of the app's launch, which was not bad, but it was far less than Katzenberg and co. had hoped for. After the free trial ended, though, only about 72,000 subscribers decided that the content they were getting was worth paying for. And despite their commercials being everywhere, it seemed like people just weren't talking about Quibi. Which was a shame, because they were missing out on some high-quality short-form content.
I'm having a nervous breakdown. My boyfriend's sex doll is talking to me. But I have news for you, babe. We're all sex dolls until we topple the patriarchy.
That's great, you're a feminist sex doll.
This is Dummy, starring Anna Kendrick and a
Looks like a banger.
CGI succubus with a thing for underaged boys.
Who is that? He's like 14. So, I'm 7.
Cody soon befriends the terrifying sex doll.
Jesus
But it turns
Christ.
out they have more in common besides the person who makes sex.
Thanks to read some
inside them.
splits and comment.
Barbara, you call yourself a feminist, but you hate other women.
What? No, I love other women.
And if you think this
Thanks
looks
to
like
Prime.
a shallow
Phase
failure
and
that
plan.
confuses grossness for genuine boldness, you're wrong, because it's actually really progressive.
You ready to do this? What? My pussy. I've got like years worth of Dan's pole milk congealed up in there.
Okay.
This show was clearly the loving result of intense Hollywood market research into millennial watching habits. Because this is exactly what
we
millennials
like sex
want,
dolls.
to have their general values repeated back to them by a lifeless imitation of a human being.
You are the shitty feminist. I hear you doing all types of like rape role play, you twisted little bitch.
Okay.
Jeff and Meg made sure Quibi was laser focused on the millennial age bracket.
And we're creating content with the millennial audience
Thanks to
in
Prime,
mind.
Nikki. There was some pain
The
and
stars and stories that they love, and we're delivering it to them in a way they actually watch, in quick bite chapters on the go.
These boomers saw all those kids who wouldn't get off their gosh darn phones and decided to make content for them. Of course, by
And
the
it
time
worked.
the app was launched in
They had
April,
10
the
users.
commute had been like totally cancelled, meaning that perhaps COVID-19's greatest victim of all was Quibi. At least that's what Katzenberg wanted the New York Times to believe when they brought up the app's painfully small and inactive user base.
At least he had a
Surely
good
it was just
scapegoat,
a
I guess.
coincidence that literally every other streaming service had seen enormous growth during this period. Quibi's dead-on-arrival reception had nothing to do with its content, business model, or all the money that it was needlessly spaffing away. After 30 years in showbiz, Katzenberg had clearly gotten used to having a Hollywood marketing budget. Quibi initially intended to spend $470 million
That's
on
a
advertising in
disgusting
just its
amount.
first year, as they were apparently pathologically hell-bent on
I remember back when this was like coming out, everyone said the same shit, and I agreed with them. The only way Quibi would ever survive is if they had like cheaper content. So like people that already made internet content, they're like, you should probably just have like YouTubers make shit for it. It'd be cheaper and at least give you a fighting chance for it to be sustainable. And they really just stuck to their guns over, nope, we need Anna Kendrick in a sex doll. And it worked. I mean, they did pretty well, right? Like, they lasted how long? Let me get the entire lifespan of Quibi. I think it was 6 months from launch to close. Launched April 6th, closed December 1st. Damn. So yeah, they had a good fucking run, baby. They went the distance. So I mean, they knew what they were doing. Jeffrey Katzenberg, he's a genius. He's a visionary. Yeah, they did a whole Quibi. Yeah. Or Quibi. What were they calling it in the commercials already? I'm pretty sure they just said Quibi back, right? I think I'm getting it mixed up with like Rick and Morty speak now. I think the saddest part about it isn't like the outrageous disaster and failure of Quibi, but it's that even though it was like a historic flop, it still didn't garner enough attention for anyone to really know or care. This thing had $2 billion in funding before ever launching, closed in 6 months, and nobody cared even with that. It was such a useless wet fart that not even a historic flop was enough to get people to care about it. Wild.
Turning Quibi into a corporate mega verb like Kleenex or Uber or Google, hoping that it would catch on if people
Prime Jose,
heard a
the resub
world-famous
Arwat and
Twitter
Bilbo
account
and Tier
say
1
it.
Bingo.
Got this, let's go.
Don't be a psychopath, Mark. I'll go for a Quibi. I will see
you at the mall.
Just 4 months after it launched, it was pretty clear that Katzenberg & Co. had Quibied all in their pants. They persisted in comparing their subscription model to services like Netflix and Disney+.
But it was better.
This was a complete misunderstanding of the market that they were actually entering. Their real competition was free, shareable, and good. Well, most of it. And this has always been Hollywood's biggest failure. Their total, blinding inability to know the difference between something that's good and something that's expensive. But that wasn't going to be the case with Quibi, because everything on there was gold. Stuff like barkitecture!
This four-legged sidekick needs his
What
own
the fuck?
digs. We need something to represent his humble roots and his Hollywood lifestyle.
That's right.
I bet that
Quibi
slapped.
that you can watch Hollywood weirdos who are so out of touch with reality that they see nothing tasteless about building bedroom-sized puppy palaces in their back garden.
That's unbelievable. The dogs are gonna love it. Oh man, who wants some rosé?
If you didn't like that, how about Murder House Flip?
As if 5 gives some
a bog
strafe.
standard
Appreciate it.
property makeover show that also promises to satisfy your insatiable true crime bloodlust.
This man killed his wife right here where my husband is sitting.
Gee, all right, wow. That's aggressive.
What happened here?
The absolute must-watch episode is the one where they refurb the bathroom where a husband had chopped up his wife into little bits.
You take a shower where he dismembered her.
But maybe you're looking for something that has the gravitas and star power that only Quibi can provide. In that case, I actually recommend Sam Raimi's 50 States of
Sam
Mind.
Raimi?
The show aimed to tell 50 spooktacular stories, loosely adapting local urban legends from all 50 American states. All in all, they released 2, Michigan and Florida. And the idea of a creator-driven horror anthology actually sounded pretty fresh, especially the first couple of times someone suggested it. In the first episode, we follow a lumberjack and his vain, jewelry-obsessed wife who gets caught in a tree-related accident.
Oh no. No! Oh fuck!
Oh god! How's she gonna watch Quibi now? Oh. Luckily, her husband has a side hustle making revolutionary robo-prosthetics.
Bro, I need to watch this. What was this one called? This was 50 States of Fright, right? This seems amazing. Hold on. I've got to find like a re-upload of this somewhere. Holy shit. Surely this exists somewhere online. No fucking way Quibi just erased it. Someone's got it. It looks like Roku has it. Yeah, it's on Roku. I'm gonna have to fucking watch that. This seems like an amazing disaster of a movie. I can give sub cream and the resub Cass and the Prime Otavio.
I think so.
That might seem completely contrived, but you have to remember all these episodes are just 8 minutes long. There's just not enough time for everything to make sense.
Can you make it out of gold?
Are you serious?
Just half a Quibi later, she's got a fancy new C-3PO arm, but it does lead to some issues.
As long as your body keeps absorbing the gold through your skin, there's very little I can do. You've got to take off that prosthetic.
No. I can't take off my golden arm. When I die, bury me with my golden arm.
She croaks, but because he's gone into all kinds of debt building his
Rest in peace,
golden
Queen
arm,
Midas.
he has to engage in some good old-fashioned spousal grave robbing. At this point, it turns into a standard avenging ghost story, and dare I say it, it actually gets kind of good? It's obviously dopey, but it's self-aware enough to be enjoyable, and it's genuinely scary at points. It's officially my favourite show on Quibi.
I've got to fucking watch this, man. This seems like a
One
great
half-decent horror
disaster.
story was not enough to save the ailing streaming service. It only took 30,000 Quibis before the company completely collapsed on the 21st of October. Katzenberg announced that Quibi would quit in an all-hands video call to all 250 of the company's employees. He announced that everyone would be paid severance and that they should listen to Get Back Up Again from the Trolls soundtrack to lift their spirits as they cleared out their desks.
Okay.
I feel like complete shit. I just want Quibi back. Quibi might be gone, but its spirit lives on in all the lives that it touched. Goodbye, Quibi. You were like a candle in the wind, with us
Thanks
not
for
for a
Brian
long
JPEG.
time or a good time, but a time nonetheless. Stay hydrated and don't let the bastards grind you down.
I need to watch some of this Quibi shit, man.
Don't
I had
forget
no
to
idea
hit the
they
bell,
even got anything
subscribe,
out.
Like, all that stuff. That'd be great. I'd really like that. Oh, full screen? Wowee! I thought Cyberpunk had been delayed.
Damn, man. Imagine if we just had Quibi! Fuck!